What's going on, everybody? We're back with officially now it's episode number 25 of the League Report Pod. We got it to 25 episodes. That's a big milestone, actually. So I'm really glad we got this far. Some of y'all out there quit at 5 episodes or whatever. We still going. So shout out to us. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for downloading and keep on downloading and keep on subscribing. Keep on watching our videos. But yeah, man, a lot of action going on in the NBA as usual. We had a very entertaining last couple of days as usual. I'm excited about today's tweets because Blake has a tweet. It's something that I've been arguing with dudes about for like the last maybe 5 years. So Blake, go ahead, read off that first tweet that we had. We're gonna react to for this episode. It's something it's something we've been talking about as far as basketball goes for a minute now. And
it's from it's from Kenny Beecham. If y'all don't know who Kenny Beecham is, he's YouTube, Twitter. Y'all go check him out. He said that unwritten rules in sports are dumb. Ty, if you want to, I got a lot to say about that. So, yeah. Ty, if I may take the most time. Ty, you can go ahead and start that off.
So he's referring to that. Remember, everybody knows the thing where you're down by like 15 or 10 or whatever, and then somebody goes and gets a fast break dunk, and then the other team who's losing gets pissed off. I remember Paul George did it. I remember Lance Stevenson did it. What other ones can you guys remember? Because I'm trying to think.
Last night.
Obviously, last night.
Yeah.
It may have been a bunch more out there. I know Damian Lillard did it, and I think Nate Robinson got mad at him like his rookie year.
Yeah, no, Chris Paul did it, and Damian Lillard got mad at him, tried to slap the ball.
Yeah, that was hell. That was the funniest one.
And after that, if you already noticed, after that, Damian wasn't in no more State Farm commercials after that incident.
Chris Paul. Yeah. I don't know. I think my whole stance on it is, bro, if you losing, I mean, it depends because I know there are different basketball rules for like different places and everything like that, but the way I look at it is if you this mad now, there was the one where Chris Webber said it was like manufacture anger. Who was that? Was that like the Sixers and Cavaliers?
Yeah, that was a Sixers.
Yeah. And that was one of the funniest ones because of the commentary. But I mean, the way I see it, if you're down, you got to have that same. You can't just expel all that energy at the end of the game when you're already down 15 because it don't mean nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Like you already getting your ass whooped. So what is 3 extra points and 2 extra points go do? Really? Like honestly, ask yourself that question. Man, instead of 15 points, I lost by 18.
But it could also be this. It may be like what you do. Because if you throw down like a reverse or something, I remember Evan Turner did it to Nick Young like a long time ago. And you threw down like a 360 windmill. So if it's like one of them, but I've seen dudes get like just little layups or whatever. And then that just sets them off. It may be how they do it. Darius Bazley, it was a big.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what it's about.
I just say is if you don't want me to do it, stop me, then block my shot.
Right. That's the best way. I mean, what else you like?
Don't get beat by 20. How about that?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Blake, what you want to say about it?
Look, man. If you get upset about them doing that, it's this really for any sport. If you're getting upset about somebody scoring like towards the last tail end of the game, then you should have did something about it when y'all are actually in the game instead of pretending to be upset about it now. Because pretending to be upset about it now don't do anything. Just like Karl said, what's the difference? You lost by 18 losing by 18 instead of losing by 20.
Bro, thank you.
It makes no sense. If you don't want them to celebrate like that, then stop them while you got the chance. Last night, the Lakers blew a 26-point lead. So they had no right to be upset. If they was going to be upset at somebody, they should have been upset at themselves because they had the game and they could have won it. So that's their fault. That's their fault.
Yeah. I don't get why Russ, you turn the ball over 10 times first of all.
Yep.
And then so you're mad. You should be mad at yourself more than you should be mad at Darius Bazley. You all gave him a 26-point lead. Whether he wants to score at the end of the game or not is not a big deal because you all gave up the lead. You could have been the one scoring the basket at the end. For real.
Yeah. 26-point lead erased and 10 turnovers.
Quadruple. He had the first quadruple double in a while.
He did have a quadruple double. It's been, oh my God. I don't even want to, we spent last episode talking about his turnovers, but back to it. It's like, how do you have 10 turnovers in a game? And you give up a 26-point lead and you fix yourself to get mad at some young guy. Darius Bazley's young as hell. Yeah, like Darius Bazley's how old? That dude's got to be like 20. Yeah, something like
20, 21, 22.
Because he came straight
It
out of high
doesn't
school,
make
right?
sense, dude.
Mhm.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, dude.
Jeez.
Like, honestly, just that whole unwritten rules thing is so stupid.
Yeah.
What baseball,
Yeah.
football, basketball,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't make any sense.
I was just about to say with like baseball, the unwritten rule is if you're up by like 5 or 6 runs and it's the 9th inning and say a pitcher was not really a pitcher, he's like another positionless player and they just bring him in because they've been getting slaughtered. It's like a first baseman throwing a pitch and he don't know how to throw one, so he just lob it in there and dude hit it like a grand slam and they get mad at him.
Yeah.
Don't pitch the ball like that then. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, you can't keep trying to enforce. It's not the 70s and 80s anymore, dude.
Yeah, what's football?
You can't. Yeah, football. I think football is more so celebration wise.
I agree.
I don't think it's like scoring.
Yeah.
It's celebration. It goes the same thing for football. You don't want us to score and keep us out the end zone.
With football, isn't it the thing where a dude will be running towards the end zone, he's got a touchdown? I remember people get pissed when he like turns around and looks at the other team or something like that.
Yeah,
they get mad at
Marshawn
don't let him.
Lynch
Yeah,
great
don't
at
let him
that.
in the end zone then.
Yeah. I think it's if they're up by like say it's like 38-10 and it's 2 minutes left and you still throwing the ball.
Yeah.
They get mad at. I mean, like I scored 38. Don't let me score 38 then.
I know one unwritten rule that I think maybe Blake agrees with because we've talked about this before. It's the 2K unwritten rule, but it's the off-balling rule, and you're not allowed to off-ball in 2K. And I've been arguing against that rule for a very long time. I will off-ball on 2K all day if it means that I got to go get the win because
that's a soft defensive tactic.
Oh, come on!
I'm guarding you one-on-one. I want you.
It's a video game.
I don't care. I want you to come guard me. Don't off ball. Come check me.
Off ball defense is important though, bro. You got to play for the game.
It's a video game, bro.
Yeah. What's another basketball like what's another basketball like in-game unwritten rule? Like
it's when we talking about dunks, it's when you actually throw a lob off the backboard and dunk it. That's one.
Yeah.
They don't like when you win it by like 20.
Yeah. Then there's also bank shots. If you're playing pickup and you bank one in, I've seen people give the ball back to them, make them redo the whole possession because they got a bank shot. I've seen that happen before. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to I used to get mad when I was a kid. If I played one-on-one and they keep doing bank shots, I mean, you just shoot that because you can't shoot.
Yeah. Right. It's different if you go for like, okay, Tim Duncan or Russell Westbrook, they'll like aim for those, because that's kind of their shot. But on the other end, man, that's another one. I'm trying to think of some other unwritten ones in basketball.
It's another one probably.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Those are probably the only main two. They're dumb, but they for some reason those I don't know. It's probably Russell. Yeah, Russ doing that yesterday. That rubbed me the wrong way. It's like, dude, come on now. That's soft. That's soft. That's very soft.
Don't get 10 turnovers next time, Russ.
That's what I'm saying.
You should be more upset about them turnovers.
Yeah.
Turnover, man.
What was that second tweet you had?
I think it was one that I did actually. Bleacher Report. Was it Bleacher Report?
It was somebody's MVP tracker.
Oh, yeah, MVP tracker. Ty, your best friend, he was up there at number one.
Who's my best friend?
Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
So I'll name off 1 through 10. So this is from Basketball Reference.
Big-headed Rudy.
Okay. Should I go like 10 to 1 or just
go 1 to 10? Or go 10 to 1, 10 to 1.
All right, so 10 DeMar. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but 9 Julius Randle, 8 Trae Young, 7 Jokic, 6 Cat, 5 Giannis, 4 Zach LaVine, 3 Jimmy Butler, 2 Steph, and then 1
Jimmy Butler.
That big tree.
Was John on that list?
No, he's not.
Yeah, who made
it's not even worth talking about, bro.
Who made that list?
Terrible. Basketball Reference.
Basketball Reference made that list.
They credible. They credible as hell. And they made that list.
Is the award tracker based off? What is it based? Is it based off what they're seeing right now?
They said it's just based off of I guess so, what they're seeing.
Jimmy Butler had 3.
I think somebody had a few too many cold ones last night before they made that one.
Yeah, I don't know. And you don't have Ja in the top 10, but I don't get that one. Yeah, Rudy Gobert is not near the MVP reason, not even top 10 right now. And this is even way.
Rudy Gobert shouldn't be touching that number 1 spot. I'm sorry. He shouldn't be touching that number 1 spot.
He's not even the best player on his team, bro.
No.
Yeah, I don't even know what this is.
Shouldn't be touching the top 5. He shouldn't be touching the top 10 either. I'll put him in like nowhere near the top 10. But I know he shouldn't be touching anywhere near
52nd. 52nd.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. I'm wondering what they're basing this list off of because it's kind of ridiculous.
It has to be off what they've seen so far because if it's
you put him at your number 1, that means you think he's top 75 list they made then.
Right.
You that dumb.
Yeah.
Was he in that top 75?
No,
dude, you know, no.
All right, cool.
Yeah, there's no way he was on that list. There's no way he was on that list. I don't know what that came from. The Ja disrespect is huge because people are still kind of doubting Ja. We're not gonna get too much into it, but I still got people saying he's not gonna. Yeah,
I'm convinced.
Yeah, I'm convinced. As long as he can keep sharpening up his jump shot, as we said before, that's what it's all about.
I actually reverted back the other way. I think he's better than Zion now. Because remember at first I was saying I think Zion's like by far better. I was wrong. I was tripping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
it's kind of hard to
because Zion don't stay healthy though.
Yeah. And I've seen and as I said, I've seen Ja take a team like to the playoff. Yeah, play big. I haven't seen Zion play big in like big high stake games or whatever. So yeah. A quick thing I wanted to point out: the Charlotte Hornets are off to a really good start. I think they're 4-1 right now. And Miles Bridges has had an insane start to the season. He's had 3 30-point games this year, knocking down threes. He's taking a ton of threes. Right now, he's averaging 26 points a game on 53% shooting and 40% from 3, and also 8 rebounds. And the Hornets right now are 4-1, as I mentioned. And I think that's good enough for maybe the top spot in the Eastern Conference. I think so. I think they may have the best record.
Yeah, the Hornets. Bulls are 1
undefeated.
Okay, Bulls are undefeated. Yep, Hornets are at 4-1 on the season. What was their one loss? Because I know they've played some okay teams here and there.
Brooklyn, I think. I think it was Brooklyn.
Yeah,
I think it was Brooklyn. Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. Isn't that Brooklyn's only win too?
No, they got 2 wins. They 2-3.
Because
who else did they beat?
Yeah,
76ers.
They did beat Philly. They did beat Philly in Philly. Early thoughts on
I should have known that. Yeah.
Early thoughts on Charlotte. Like, how you guys feeling about them so far?
You go ahead.
I say if they Miles Bridges, he putting up those numbers. I'm surprised they didn't put him in that top 10 for the MVP.
Yeah.
But they're actually off to a better start than what I thought they would. I knew they had the talent for it, but I didn't think it would come together this quick. I know it's only like 5 games into the season. But it looks like they're laying the foundation to have a great season. LaMelo's playing great. Miles Bridges is playing great. So they really could. I think it's time for them to really take that next step and really leap into a solidified playoff spot.
Yeah. Think about it. Like this team, like at this time last season, they didn't get off to as great of a start. But remember, they were a 4-5 seed. 4, 5, 6 in that range at some point last year consistently. Then Karl mentioned before, end of the season, injury started hitting them. Hayward was
bottom drop. They started losing everything.
Yeah, and they started getting into the play-in. But I think they built something that we can continuously look at as a legitimate young core. I still think there are some things that need to be established. We look at Miles Bridges and what he's done. But the question is can he keep it up? Obviously, we don't think he's going to average 26, 27 for the rest of the season. I don't think that's going to.
You never know.
You never know. Exactly. But even if so, like, do you guys think this season? I can't even say this season because Gordon Hayward's there. But do you guys think Miles Bridges can somewhat turn himself into somewhat of like a second option scorer? And that's tough to say, considering that they do have Terry Rozier there and that they do have Gordon Hayward there. And also that may be a major reason why he's playing this way because of Terry Rozier not being there. He may be getting more shots.
That's probably true. I can see when Terry Rozier come back, I can see that number dipping to like 20 or 21.
Yeah.
So if this is me for like a lot of these elite teams at the top of the conference. No, I said elite because it's 5 games to elite. I'm gonna be waiting to judge almost all the good and great teams by like Christmas or January. That's like my ceiling for like watching these teams because I feel like I don't know if he's gonna average 27 points from Terry Rozier because Terry Rozier quick fire, he be shooting shots. He let him go. So I don't see him averaging 27.
Yeah, I'm a ride the hot hand. Well, even when Terry Rozier gets back, I don't want to mess up that.
Terry not gonna like that. He'll be all right.
He'll be all right.
Yeah, but no, and I mean, also think about the point that just Gordon Hayward is back and he's looked pretty solid, as I said, like if Gordon Hayward was there last season for them during the play-in or during the entirety of the season, we'd probably be looking at this team maybe squeaking into that 8th spot. Who they lose to in that first game, the Pacers, they definitely would have beat the Pacers, and I think they probably could have beaten us, if we would end up seeing them in that second playing game. So they're in a really, really good spot. James Borrego is doing a great job coaching offensively. They've looked flat out amazing. They've been one of the best offensive teams in the NBA. They've done a great job at shooting the 3-ball. And LaMelo has extended his range. He's always been a guy who can knock down those shots, but he's extended it out. He's playing big minutes and clutch situations. He did it last year, but, getting things started this season, he's looking amazing in that type of that type of situation. So, yeah, I mean, Charlotte's in a really good place, and I hope they can keep it up. What do you guys think? I asked the same question last episode with Tyler Hero. When the dust starts to settle with Miles Bridges, what's the floor for him as far as points per game go? Like, what do you guys think the lowest he'll go is once like Terry Rozier's back and this team is really able to kind of establish themselves or whatever?
16.
16.
I'm gonna give him,
I say 16.
I'm gonna give him 20.
Think 20?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him 20, right? Like probably 19, 20.
Yeah.
Just round it up.
Yeah. I mean, and for him, there's been upward progression every single season, with more minutes. First year, he's 8 points a game. I'm reading on the stat sheet right here. 8 points a game first year. Second year, 13 points a game. And then last year, he was 13 points a game and he shot 40% from 3. And that's something a lot of people never really talk about Miles Bridges. We know he's a great athlete. We know he can put the ball on the floor and get to the rim. But his 3-point shooting has been progressing big time over the last couple of years. Like last year, as much as he was used, he got about 30 minutes a game. He was a 40% shooter and he was taking a lot of them. And then now, right, it's pretty much same thing, 40% shooter, and he's taking upwards of like 5 3-pointers a game. So it's not like we see guys with high 3-point shooting percentages and they're shooting like 2 or 1 3-point shot a game. He's putting them up a lot, and that's becoming a major part of his arsenal. What you guys think of? I don't know how much you guys really paid attention to him in college, but what was your perception of him coming out of Michigan State? Because he was always kind of a confusing prospect, for me when he was coming out of college. I didn't know how to feel about him. I didn't know if he had franchise level talent. What you guys feel about him when he was coming out of Michigan State?
I thought he would be a good. What was a good comparison? At least a good 3-and-D player.
Mm-hmm.
He could shoot a little bit and really provide that athleticism, probably like off the bench, give you a spark or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Catch a few lobs, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really think he would be like. The thing with Michigan State and the kind of system they run is not really. You can't really pick out a star. It's really a team-oriented system, so you can't really.
Yeah.
See, like, oh, he's gonna be a franchise. He's gonna be so.
Yeah.
I kind of just thought he was going to be probably a slasher that can play defense. Slasher, that's a 2K term. That means that cutting at the basket and dunking over people and playing defense, basically. But I thought he was I didn't see his shot like progressing like it did. So that's a positive. So I definitely think he can be a key piece to what they're looking to build towards the future. Big time.
And if they can establish, like I said, right now their offensive attack looks really, really good, and they've got some solid wins, not super, super high quality wins. Obviously we can think of, the Pacers. I know they beat the Pacers or whatever on opening night and all of that, but for them to have such a good offensive attack right now without one of their best scorers coming back in Terry Rozier, I don't know what his timetable is currently, but for their offensive attack to be this good, it's something great to see from a young team. And as I said, James Borrego needs a lot of credit, for how he's been able to work this young group. And we haven't also even seen James Bouknight that much. I can't really name how many minutes James Bouknight. I can't even think about how.
Yeah, that's true. Because I remember people were saying he may be he was like a candidate be the first rookie to win 6th Man of the Year or something like that.
Yeah, I thought it was always gonna be weird though, because I don't know how I feel when those teams like just overload on guards. Like you look at Charlotte right now. Obviously there's there's
Sacramento.
Yeah, Sacramento, then OKC. Well, OKC's making it work with Josh Giddey and SGA from what we saw.
He's been balling.
The Knicks at one point did.
The Knicks this season, because they do have a lot of young guards that we kind of want to see play. Xavier McBride. I mean, and what can end up happening is some of these guys can end up just going to the G League. Like we could see that with Bouknight. I don't know if he's hurt, but he's played 1 minute this entire season. And we saw the Nets. I think they put Cam Thomas in the G League. I don't know if you saw that, Karl. That's your guy. I think they put him in the G League. I think so.
Yeah. I think they did. Like I said, that's the wrong team for him to get what's name to, because he's not going to get the playing time like now. He might get it say somebody gets hurt on the bench and they need another scorer, he might get it. But if nobody gets hurt and everybody's healthy, he's probably not going to get a lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah. So we could see a similar thing with, with James Bouknight, but like, once again, just talking about how good their offensive attack has been without all their pieces. PJ Washington, hasn't played the last couple of games. He's a really, Karl finna start laughing. He's a really, good, stretch four and all of that. He made some bad off the court decisions.
He's smart. He's smart.
Yeah, I won't say bad off the court. He was baited.
He was baited. Yeah, he was baited. Shout out.
I can feel
that. I can't say what I really want to say.
Well, yeah,
it's a kid. So
yeah, I don't know. I think our target audience is like 18, maybe 18 to like
evil.
Yeah,
that's what y'all should know what I'm talking about. Pure evil.
Yeah. Hopefully, when he gets back, their attack is going to be that much better. We haven't even seen Kai Jones play that much, so the size issue, is still something that we need to see get answered. But for them to get off to the start is great. We know their upside can be a play-in spot or playoff spot. More than just a playing team. So it's great to see them early on.
I'm not sure if the Timberwolves face the Hornets right now. Just say they played each other today or tomorrow. They play each other sometime during the year. I'm not sure who will win that game. I think the Timberwolves will win. I think the Timberwolves will beat them.
I say the Hornets.
That's kind of random. That's a random thing.
Yeah.
I still say the Hornets because I don't know the Timberwolves.
They're off to a good start.
They 4-1. They 4-1. I might have to. Start wearing.
That won't last.
Hold on. I might have to start wearing my jersey and cross out Wiggins on the back and put Edwards. I might have to do that.
Remember.
We talking about they 4-1 now. We're looking at about 3 weeks. That 4-1 turned to 4-10.
4-12.
I hope not, because I said it last episode. They have so much talent. Then like D'Lo and Cat and Anthony Edwards combined for like 79 last night. Who they beat? Mm-hmm. I forgot who they beat last night. Was it the Bucks?
Yeah, Giannis.
We went and beat the Bucks, and your big three ends up getting 79. And we talked about their big three last episode with Blake's tweet, where the tweet was, is their big three the most underrated in the NBA? And then we were saying, well, it's hard to say that if they're bad. So if they can keep it up, like they've been pretty solid on both ends of the floor. And like I said, we can laugh at them all we want to, but the talent is really all there. Yeah, the talent is there though. You can't deny the amount of talent Minnesota has, but hopefully they can keep it up. Hopefully they can keep it up. They have more than enough. They have more than enough on this team to be good enough to be like a playing team, at some point near the end of the season. But yeah, we spent time on them last episode. But hopefully they can keep it up. I think Charlotte would be a good matchup for them, just to kind of test them a little bit. I like seeing those young teams kind of go at it. Those are always great games to watch, like when they play New Orleans or whatever, the other night. I think New Orleans got them, but still, it's kind of good to see those young teams match up a little bit, because that's the future of the NBA. You know what I mean? Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball are literally, the top two draft picks from last year's draft. So it's good to see those guys match up. But yeah, go back to Charlotte. Great position. Hopefully Miles Bridges can keep it up, because he is a major contender. I think Karl mentioned him as a guy who can win like most improved player at the beginning of the season. We mentioned Jaren Jackson or a bunch of other guys. He's definitely a candidate for that. He was almost a candidate for it last year. Then his point production kind of went down just a little bit. It's great to see a guy grow this much. It's great to see a guy grow his game this much on such a consistent basis. Year in and year out, he's just gotten better, with the minutes, and that's what you want to see. Sometimes with guys, they get more minutes and they get less productive. We see that stuff happen a lot, and it's great to see that dude ain't him. So shout out to Miles Bridges. Hopefully he's able to keep it going. Stepping away from young guys for a little bit, I do want to take some time to talk about, there are 3 distinct star players, not even just star players, but superstar players who have been off to very rough starts to the season. Damian Lillard, who's shooting, Karl, guess his 3-point percentage right now.
5%.
No. Okay, but it's 17%.
It was.
Good God.
No legit, bro. It was 8% 2 days ago.
It had to be. It's been horrible. Dame is off to a slow start. Bradley Beal is off to a slow start, even though we're pretty good to start the season off. Well, we're hey, if we give Charlotte credit, we got to give us credit. We got off to a good
start. Blake, how many
we don't have to.
Beal?
Yeah.
Beal's averaging 19 a game right now.
I don't see 30.
Yeah.
Where that 30 at? No, I just playing.
And then there's Beal.
I don't see 30. I don't see 30 wins either, Karl.
But then there's Beal, and then there's also James Harden, who's been horrible this season so far. And the free throws are down. Yeah, the free throws are down to like 3 a game. The effort's just not really there. He's averaging 4 turnovers, and the Nets, I think, right now are top 5 in the NBA in turnovers per game. How much do you attribute, Karl? How much do you attribute this? Because a lot of that's been the major conversation, and that was a big debate they kind of had on the countdown. You know, they did the NBA countdown before the games. How much of this do you attribute solely to the point that the foul calls aren't there?
I've been telling people for the longest, the reason James Harden struggled in playoffs because he doesn't get those foul calls he gets in the regular season. So that's why kind of them 30-point games he was having in the regular season, I can even say it efficiently. He would play in the playoffs. He might get 30, but it'd be like a 9 for 28 shooting night, taking like 30 shots to get there. So I think
that's a disgusting 30. Yeah.
Yeah, he's had some good playoff games, but he's had some bad ones too. But I think this foul calling, because if you watch him play, he's not even looking to score. He's looking at the ref to call the foul. He's not even playing. Yeah. He's too good to be playing basketball that way.
So much of the training with a lot of NBA guys is how to manipulate the refs to get a foul call. You know what I mean? There was the thing where guys would drive to the lane, and Harden did this, and Tatum did it a lot.
Put your hands up.
They swipe the ball to the other side, and then a lot of it, Joel Embiid would literally just play to get fouled. There were possessions where you just see him on the block or whatever.
That's weak.
And he would just hunt for the foul.
Soft.
Yeah.
Soft.
And and Tatum's kind of had that criticism too. Celtics, I saw a montage, and I can't go too much into Tatum because he had like 40 the other night or something like that. But you know, Celtics fans are pissed with him because there was a set of clips where he would just continuously get to the rim, and then every time he get a miss, you know, he'd cry for a foul or something like that. Extensive.
Yes.
That's all NBA stars. All them dudes cry. Yeah. Only one I don't see cry, honestly, is probably Giannis and KD about foul calls. Yeah. Maybe.
KD will be real cordial with the ref.
The only thing about KD is I've never liked this. When he swipes, he'll swipe your arm's reaching out, he'll swipe. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's the only one. But other than that, when he drives the ball, anything like that, I never really see him complain.
And I don't want to look down on how much of a great offensive talent Harden is, but you got to admit to me, especially when watching him in Houston, a lot of the special stuff about him was how he was able to manipulate foul calls. Like he would do things. Yeah. I talked to y'all about this. Remember I said he would hook your arm and then make it look like you're fouling him. And to me, that's tough. That's tough. I got to.
It is, but like at some point in time.
No, it's not, bro. You're not playing.
It's not. Look, I got you. Because at some point in time, you like these dudes in the NBA, there's no way they fouling this dude that much.
Yeah.
As a ref, you got to be smart enough to be looking at the play and see that this dude is hooking people's arms. And he's doing this, and he's not getting, because like probably a third or sometimes so half of his points was free throws.
Yeah, there were a lot of career games from him where it's like
his 50-point games. I check the stat sheet. A lot of his 50-point games, you'll see 18 for 20 at the free throw line, or 20 for 25, or something like that, or 20 for 24. He ain't gonna miss no free throws. But yeah.
Do you give credit to him for being able to manipulate the rules a little bit though? Like with when those rules were in place, I gotta give him some credit. For
a little bit.
I don't know, bro. I kind of view it as the ref being gullible because he kept doing it for so long.
Yeah,
very gullible.
Yeah, he would do it, and like I said, that's a lot of the training now is just how to figure out these ways to draw fouls. But you got to be able to adjust to the rules and all of that, and it's pissing off a lot of guys. It hasn't been Beal's issue. Beal's missed a lot of makeable shots. It hasn't really been Dame's issue. Dame's missed a ton. I've seen Dame miss some wide open.
Yeah. They don't try to get foul calls. But that Chris Paul do where he stops and slows down, they call that an offensive foul on Patrick Beverley.
Yeah, they called that on Pat Bev when they was playing the Bucks. Yesterday.
Yeah. So I mean, do you guys think, and it could be a slow progression, but there's been so many complaints about the NBA being quote unquote soft, and that's like the most common talking point from anybody who's not an NBA fan is the NBA is soft. Back in the 80s, we weren't doing all this. Do you guys think we're moving back? And it's happening slowly, you know, but there's more crackdown on some of the ways these offensive guys are able, like now, even the thing where, you know, guys were kicking out their legs, you know, to get fouls on 3-point shots. You know, we're moving into a time where, you know, the offense is being monitored a lot more to where these guys can't manipulate it as much. Do you think we're moving back into somewhat of an era of a physical game? Like, do you think we're going back into that direction? Not saying the NBA is not physical, but do you think we're moving back into that?
Yeah,
I really don't think that. Oh, my bad, Karl. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying real quick. I don't think it's going back to physical, but I can say it's getting slowly better by doing the foul things.
Yeah, I agree. Because there are just so many times where it'd be like that BS foul call here and there, and it'll just dictate the game. I don't know. It was just crazy to see, you know. But Hopefully Harden will adjust. I think Trae Young was another guy we were concerned about. Remember we said he would do that a lot where he'd jump into you, and he was like the talk of the playoffs last year because he would do that a ton. But he's found a way to adjust, and he's been off to a very, very good start. So with that, I can't even say with that, does it change how you think about Harden? Like, do you think it's something else outside of just the fouls attributing why he's played so bad early on? Because we've never seen.
He's out of shape. I
think that's what it is. Yeah.
That's probably some of it. There's a combination of a couple of things. Just the out of shapeness, I don't want to win this, the foul.
I don't know. Because he did say his hamstring kept bothering him, so that might be a reason why he couldn't condition like he wanted to, but that doesn't mean you can't diet the right way. That's my thing.
You got to stretch, boy.
That's what I'm saying. That's my thing when people get like some of these athletes get surgeries and stuff. Like I get you can't condition, but they don't mean like your diet can still be good though.
Yeah.
Like,
Zion.
Yeah. And then too, is like, have we ever seen Harden have this bad of a stretch? I know it's early, but have we ever seen Harden play this bad since 2013? This
probably
is a stretch of games. Yeah.
He's not even he played better in his role with OKC than he is now.
Yeah. It's like a major lack of effort, and then he'll get something going for him. We saw it last night. He'll get something going for himself. And then, like, I remember he got like 2 big buckets. He got like a dunk, and he comes back and gets an and 1-3. And then it's just shit show from the rest of the game on. So
that was in the second quarter. He had like 11 points, and he basically do nothing.
Yeah. I hope they get it right. And Brooklyn as a whole has just been disappointing. Right now, Brooklyn they're at the bottom tier as far as offensive efficiency goes. How can we say that about a team that has James Harden and Kevin Durant on the same team?
Hey, Kevin Durant's averaging 30, so I don't know.
It is like they're even with and people are trying to scapegoat with the Kyrie thing, even without Kyrie, and Karl and I talked about this millions of times. This team could have went to the finals last year. They would have went to the finals last year. Let's keep it a buck. If Kevin Durant, the shot would have been a 3. You know what I mean? This is still a championship level team, and they have better.
His feet wasn't so big. That's how.
Yeah, and they have better pieces this year than last. Patty Mills, LaMarcus Aldridge is healthy. They didn't really have him at all in the playoffs. Paul Millsap is there, and it's just all not coming together. Joe Harris hasn't been shooting it. I don't know if Joe Harris has been shooting it super well to get started.
I'm just thinking they're pretty old, but they love saying the Lakers are pretty old, but they never talk about the Nets being old. This is a bunch of 32 and 36-year-olds on that team. I'm just saying.
Because the Lakers suck.
Yeah. That's true. That's a good point. But
Paul Millsap,
y'all over there, y'all dysfunctional over there fighting with each other.
Paul Millsap is 36.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin's 32, but he's an old 32. So come on, it's some 30-year-olds on that team too.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, and like I said, we can't just scapegoat Kyrie this whole time. I know we've had our conversation about that. We can't scapegoat Kyrie when you have James Harden. People have said James Harden is what do they say? He's the best offensive player of all time. Straight up.
He ain't look like it now.
No, it's ridiculous, and I think the thing also is what people are saying, he's going to be a facilitator now. He's in Brooklyn. No, your role is to be second option scorer right next to Kevin Durant until Kyrie Irving gets back. So I have no excuse.
If he gets back.
Yeah, exactly. So I have no excuse for the lack of production right now for him. And for Brooklyn as a whole, it shouldn't be as bad. Like I said, it's early, but this is a team that we think is a mega superpower. And even without their star play, with their third superstar player, which most teams don't have the luxury of having, they're just getting off to this horrible start. I don't know what it is, and like I said, it's really, really early, but it's not like a chemistry issue. Like with the Lakers, it's different because Blake did mention the Lakers, but it's different because with the Lakers, we knew it was going to be a fit issue between Russ and AD and LeBron for a while.
It's a huge fit issue. I see.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but with the
huge fit issue.
But with the Nets, it's like these guys played together pretty much all of last season. So there's a lot to be, there's a lot to question. Hopefully he has that game. And all it's going to take for a guy like him is one game, to finally just get it right and get it moving forward, and get it going. But hopefully he's able to get it. I don't know. Like I said, we don't know the timetable for Kyrie. Durant's been doing this thing. We've got to commend him for that. And his leadership and I give credit to Brooklyn. They're really patient with it all. It's not in Laker Nation right now. There's not much. I can't hear much of the Nets on Twitter. That's the funniest thing is for like one of the biggest teams in the NBA, their fan base isn't really that loud. Like I don't hear anything from Nets fans on Twitter, but Lakers fans go crazy. So for whatever Nets fans are out there on Twitter, we're not hearing a bunch of overreactions early on, where the Lakers are like, I mean, I'll go to comment sections and I'll see stuff like the Lakers, just Russ can't fit on here and Russ is washed. And you know how that goes with the Lakers fans. And
I'm half of those comments. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half of those comments.
But
them
I
old
wanted to mention,
dudes.
Yeah. I wanted to mention, because we was talking about the foul stuff. I thought they would crack down or start calling the fouls of Paul George pushing off, but I guess they don't call it because he's probably, I've never seen a player of his caliber and his talent push off so much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you all agree with me, but that his push it's insane.
If you pay attention and watch Paul George in the playoffs, those push offs are off the chain. Honestly, they really are. It's like
but it's not even like he's hiding it. It's like so blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
His
are horrible. Are there any other like foul changes or like rule changes that you just want to see in the NBA? Not even just fouls, but like, are there rule changes that may not hold for basketball around the world, but are there NBA rule changes to go along with what we're already seeing that you want to see change?
No, I think they changed pretty much everything that I've complained about. Like you pump fake a three and you lean into the dude and he's not leaning into you, but you lean into him.
Yeah.
Because you know who's really bad at that? Jay Crowder falls every single time he shoots the ball.
Jay Crowder don't stay on his feet at all when he shoots the ball.
It's so annoying. Bro.
Yeah.
He make him though.
He does make him.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know. So you can never tell if it's going in or not.
He's the best.
Yeah. He's kind of he's the best, like inconsistent, consistent.
Yeah,
three-point shooter.
It's two things.
Efficient, inconsistent shooter in the league.
Two things with him. He either bricks real hard or swishes. That's
you don't know when they're going in. Are there any? I'm gonna think about it. Are there any more foul or rule changes that you'd like to see in the NBA, Blake? I mean, let me ask, because I know Karl's happy about it, but are you content with the foul change on the the pump fake and lean in and all that? Are you content with that, or do you think?
I like it. I like it. I think I like it. I know I can't wait to see him use his. You can't review stuff after 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the stupidity that's gonna cause.
Yeah. Oh, you're pro review under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, dude, that makes zero sense. You can win or lose. You can easily win a losing game inside those last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And not being there. I get you want to, because I remember. I know Steven got whatever that dude name is. All of them last season, they were talking about like, oh, this is slowing the game down. This is slowing the game down. Well, I'd rather them get the call right instead of just trying to speed everything up. I know you want to go home. Yeah. I know you want to go home, but still.
It's funny because we complain, like, okay, to a viewer, we complain all the time about how long it takes. Like one game took an extra like 30 minutes, right? Was it like Clippers Suns? And it took like an extra 30 minutes of the game up. But for the sake of the game, then like if my Wizards are down against like the Celtics or whatever in like a Eastern Conference Finals playoff series, you know what I mean? You guys seeing what I'm doing here? You guys seeing what I'm doing here? Eastern Conference Finals playoff series.
Maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
But 40.
Yeah, but
I won't be happening anytime soon. Let me chill on y'all. Go ahead.
We off to a good start. You can't say much, but I do agree. It is going to change a lot of stuff, and that's definitely one that was really controversial. There was I think you referenced that's the out of bounds one where they can't review out of bounds.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people off because so many people get away with that crap out of bounds. A lot of people get away with that stuff.
I remember Kevin Durant, KD, he got away with that.
That was the worst.
That was terrible,
bro. His whole size 20 shoe was on the line, and they go say, "Oh, he didn't step out." Like it was blatantly obvious, bro.
It was right.
And a lot of times, I'm gonna call it how it is. If you a big name player or a star, and a ball hits off you, they ain't gonna call it off you. Some really
they gonna manipulate the camera or whatever and try to make
it manipulate the camera.
Yeah, but I mean, back to Harden. I can't. I know a lot of his fouls, but I can't just say it's just the fouls because I've seen Trae Young adjust, and Trae Young's almost 10 years younger than this guy, maybe more. You know what I mean?
And smaller, way smaller.
Yeah, and was worse at it. Trae Young may have been worse at it last season than Harden was. And he's found a way to adjust, and he's still putting up those numbers. I don't know if the schedule is the same. I don't know if they played as good of amount of teams or whatever, but Harden's got to be able to get it right. It could be health, it could be weight. I heard Stephen A. Smith talk about, I don't like any of his opinions, but a lot of people are saying, it's an in shape issue with James Harden. And I don't know if I don't know if I blame him for it, because he is still somewhat nursing like the hamstring injury that he never really fully recovered from last season. Like, remember, he was kind of rushed back into the playoffs last year,
Yeah.
Didn't he get hurt again? Didn't he get hurt again?
I think so. He may have.
Yeah. He hurt his, because it was he pulled like a hamstring, but the only reason I don't think he ever would have came back if Kyrie didn't get hurt. Because what did Kyrie hurt in the playoffs? I forgot what he hurt.
Did Kyrie get his
his ankle?
It was something he hurt.
We saw that, didn't we?
It was his ankle. I think it was ankle.
Yeah.
Because he hurt his ankle. The only reason James Harden came back is because he needed to. Because he obviously couldn't play because he was limping, bro. That was bad.
That is true, and like I said, then it can open up a larger conversation, because it was a major debate last year, and we talked about rushing guys back. Remember, we always talked about that, like, oh, they brought him back too early and everything. That was a major conversation last year, and so Harden may be the victim of it. Now, I don't want to say that's the reason. I don't want to take responsibility away from him, but he could be playing on this nursed hamstring. He's not really running back on defense, which is kind of indicative. That could be indicative of some things. But then again, we did see the grimy stuff we did last year with Houston. So then you kind of go, he has a tendency to kind of give up on stuff, when it's not going.
I don't think he's giving up so far. I think it's just, I don't know. It's just a weird situation in Brooklyn.
Yeah. He's always been a dude at the start of the season that kind of seems out of shape, though. Yeah. Like, that's kind of, he starts out probably 5 to 10 games in. He still might be averaging 28 to 30. But if you look at his body compared to what it looked like, he's like a little out of shape.
Yeah, he's not all the way there. Yeah, hopefully he can get that right, man. It's going to be important.
He'll get there. He'll take his little suit he got on under the jersey, surprise people again.
Because Kyrie or not, Brooklyn is a champion. Brooklyn is a championship contending team, without a doubt. Patty Mills being there.
Not now.
Yeah.
Patty Mills looking like they second best player.
Right. Even he had a whack game. I think he had a whack game last night. He was wetting them up that first game, or even that game against Philly. I think at some
first 3 games in, he done missed a 3, and I'm so serious when I say that. He was like legit, like 15 for 15 from 3. I'm like so serious.
Even Aldridge had himself a solid game too. At some point this season, it may have been against Philly. It may have been against Philly, or it may have been. I think it was against Philly. He had a pretty good outing. So this team, even before they made the Harden trade, when it was just Kyrie and Kevin Durant, this team was always. I don't feel sympathetic that much for a team that's got 2 superstars, only 2 superstars, and they're missing their third superstar.
Only 2 of the greatest players ever played.
Right. And one former All-Star, even though he's not that anymore. But
what was that you said?
2 former.
I said 2 of the greatest to ever play.
Who's that?
Harden and KD.
2 of the greatest.
He just mean like all time, just great like offensive player.
Oh,
you don't mean
some
like
of the greatest. Okay, I was like,
You don't mean like top 5.
Oh, I was like,
no.
Yeah, I ain't take it like that. No, I know what you mean.
But yeah, I don't have. They should be able to get it right at some point. Even defense, right? You got Nick Claxton, who I think is going to be out the next game or whatever. But you got him. You got Paul Millsap. Those were 2 additions that you made to get better on
Big Paul.
Yeah, James Johnson was another addition you made to get better defensively.
You don't want to mess with him.
I was just about to say that's one.
That dude mean business. You don't want to mess with him.
He got a black belt, don't he?
Yeah. He's serious. He wore the little Karate Kid headband the other day too in the game. But another team, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but another team that pisses me off because their defense just sucks, and it sucks to get the season started, the Blazers. And I noticed something. Every year, the last 2 years, they've made an addition or 2 to get better on defense, and they still suck on defense. That one summer,
they had one good game, and that was yesterday. They played good defense.
Yeah. And hopefully they can get it right. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully they can get on the right trajectory. But that first season was Robert Covington and who else they get? Derrick Jones Jr. And then that next season they picked up, or this season they picked up Larry Nance. And they've gone with some different defensive systems now. I read something that they're defending the pick and roll a lot differently now. Like, they're not running as much drop coverage, and they're having like Yusuf Nurkic kind of survey the 3-point line a lot more instead of just dropping, which they got him killed in that second round against Phoenix. But hopefully they can get that defense thing figured out, and hopefully Dame can get his shit figured out, because I don't like seeing Dame like this. Dame was a dude I wanted to see be an All-Star this year. Not an All-Star, be an MVP this year. MVP.
Yeah. When people his height play basketball, and especially in the NBA, they got to have like Steph-like seasons to get MVP, which he's definitely capable of doing. But it seems like in his career, he's always had spurts of being great, and then he kind of drops off.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah, and those Spurs would be, I say this, those Spurs would be crazy. Those Spurs would be
Man,
crazy.
I swear I've never seen this dude be on some Kobe Spurs. I'm talking like 50-point games, like it ain't nothing.
Yeah. All he needs is one. He needs one little 50-point output, and it's
I ain't worried.
Yeah.
I ain't worried. It's just that air ball he shot the other day. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. It's them wide open threes that gets me. But then I mean they've also gotten Nasir Little in the starting lineup, so they're trying to get something going on defense. But as we said last episode, CJ McCollum's been amazing too. And that's great to see that your second option is a lot better. I've always been a fan of CJ McCollum's skill set in his game and his offensive bag. So hopefully he can get himself an all-star season because he's doing what you want him to do, and it's picking up when your best players are getting it going. That's kind of the entire object of having a great second option. I wish they used Larry Nance a lot more, and that's something they haven't done super early.
I haven't really seen Larry.
Yeah, that's like the only move they made this offseason, right? And he's like not even starting, so
yeah. I'll ask you this because it was about the Nets because I forgot. Do you think Steve Nash is the right coach for that team?
I have to say yes. Because think about how crazy last season was with them, inconsistent roster, a bunch of trade moves throughout the entirety of the year, and he still managed this group very well. You know what I mean? And that was a question a lot of people had going into the season. I'm a big fan of another podcast, and they had a major debate about that. But I think for a coach, a lot of what you're trying to do is manage a bunch of different personalities. Obviously, you're going to come in and implement a system, but you have to kind of give Steve Kerr. You almost have to give Steve Nash credit for being able to manage, because there was a lot of shit going on last year. The Kyrie situation, then Harden just comes in and he had to kind of reinvent. I'll give Harden helped out with reinventing that offense.
Going into this year too with Kyrie.
Yeah. A lot of new players too. Blake Griffin, Marcus Aldridge came
during the season.
It was the way they traded for people was like one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life.
The buyout team. That's what they are.
The buyout team.
Yeah.
DeAndre Jordan came.
He
came to win. Now he over there starting in LA.
Don't make no sense. I don't even want to talk about that.
He played. I mean, he was solid last night, and that grand 26-point loss. Not 26-point loss. That 26-point lead y'all.
I know.
It's gonna be all right. Y'all gonna be just.
Yeah. But if you want to talk, we can get some Lakers in. I just want to talk about Malik Monk. Mm-hmm. They should start playing him more because he even though like I think Melo, him, and Russ, they had a chance to tie the game last night. They all three airball.
Yeah.
Melo shot an airball.
Yeah, I know. I just said that, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to make sure the people heard that.
Yeah, I know they heard you. But I think Malik Monk should be starting. Honestly, that's just my opinion.
Well, was he in the starting? I know his minutes have gone up since game one, and he's produced more, excluding last night. But did he start last night?
I don't think he started last night.
But it's production.
If he didn't, even if he played starter minutes.
Yeah, but yeah, I think
Nunn play last night.
Say what?
No, Kendrick Nunn
ain't been here the whole season yet.
Yeah, that's
he ain't even been. Yeah, he ain't been playing.
But I like Malik Monk's production, and I think
a trade coming in his future.
No, I like Malik Monk. I like Malik Monk's production, and I think. First of all, Frank Vogel trusts a lot of their young guys, not even just Malik Monk, but Austin Reeves as well. Austin Reeves has seen a lot of clock out there, and he's done a solid job. I think his plus minus is really well. It's early, like I said, but his plus minus looks good. When he's playing around, when he's playing with certain guys, like when he's on the court with Russ, he's really good. He's on the court with AD, he's really good. He's a good role player to throw in there with your star guys, and it's great to see like a rookie who's not really a highly touted prospect. I don't even know if was he drafted or was he. Blake may know.
He was undrafted.
Okay.
He had to be. Yeah, he the new GOAT.
He was cold though.
Yeah.
He the new GOAT of the team, the new Alex Caruso.
Yeah, for real. They got it. They lost to Caruso and got a nice replacement. But to see a rookie come in, to see two young guys come in and Frank Vogel is raved about him. And like I said, we're just gonna forget about last game. But Monk was amazing in that win against the Spurs, which was their second win of the season, or first win. Which one was that? Their second win?
I think the second win. He was great.
Yeah,
against the Kings.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's gained the respect of his coach, and same with Austin Reeves. So it's good to see that with two young guys playing along with a bunch of vets. So, hopefully the Lakers can find something going.
I I don't know how serious this LeBron injury is, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been.
They was talking
I
about
don't
he
know.
may be back on Friday. So.
Yeah. That I hope it's not going to be a recurring thing. I posted something like that on Snapchat. I was like, shit, the ankle's been bothering him for a minute, and we've never really seen any major injury with LeBron at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
It all started with his growing. That's what
it's true. Then that was kind of after that, he got the ankle issue, and that's kind of a recurring thing. Somebody put a tweet out, they said LeBron isn't really hurt. He just sat out. I don't know if y'all saw it, but he just sat out so Russ can get going. If he did, that's a chess move. Because that's how you want to get. But then again, Russ comes back.
It didn't work.
10 turnovers. Yeah.
It worked for one game. It worked for one game. He played well against the Kings.
Yeah. And my question to y'all is about that game was where they played the Spurs and they beat the Spurs at home. But my question for you guys was, can Russell Westbrook? I feel like he can't really be his true self when he's on the court with LeBron.
No,
Yeah,
because they playing him off ball.
That's what I'm saying.
And then you got LeBron as the primary.
Yeah.
I don't know why they expect that can work. You playing Russell Westbrook off ball when you know he can barely shoot.
Yeah.
And you know that his primary position is with the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know how they're gonna work it, but no.
Yeah.
It was one of the weirdest trades I ever seen in my life, honestly. Because that's why people said Buddy Hield would play better, because Buddy Hield can shoot and play off the ball better than Russ.
Yeah.
LeBron can play off the ball, but that would still be weird using him off the ball with Russ. Man, I don't know.
Yeah. And here's the thing when you have star players, it's like a big old puzzle, and it's like you can find a million different ways to make it work. So Vogel's just got to keep trying to find ways to make it work, And we have to see what Russ does. Maybe he got a little bit of confidence from these last two games or whatever. Even with the 10 turnovers, he was knocking down his threes last night. So there are a million different things for Vogel to experiment with as far as playing Russ and LeBron. I feel like they've just tapped into just a little bit of it, but that's why it's early in the season. They have a lot of time to work with that. But I did kind of look at some stuff Russ was doing. I was like, I don't see him doing this when LeBron's on the court with him. But we'll see. Hopefully we'll see what happens, because the 80 at the 5 thing looks like bullshit. When we think about how much that was the talk of the offseason, like 80's going to finally play the 5, and he's still playing the 4.
Yeah.
You don't want to play the 5.
Yeah. And I said the Kings. I meant the Grizzlies when I was talking about they won that first game. I don't know why I kept saying Kings. It's because I was. I don't know. Yeah. But by the way, the Kings beat the Suns yesterday. I'm happy about that. So,
I'm gonna be honest. I did not watch those highlights, but I saw Harrison Barnes got that game winner. Harrison Barnes has been getting it in. He's been hooping.
Tell the people at home where he's from, Ty.
He's from Karl. That's Karl's boys, North Carolina. That's his squad.
Yeah, we ain't like Kentucky. We don't yell at our players, on the bench. We nice to him. We breed him.
Roy Williams, I remember that season.
I know.
He went crazy. I think he cussed in the press conference. He was like, "I'm sorry."
Man, he'll definitely just like throw his starting 5 away on the bench and just let the bench players play the rest of the game. He'll do stuff like that.
Wouldn't that be funny if somebody in the NBA did that? Because nobody does that in the NBA. That'd be hilarious.
They can't do it.
Take off. You're like, we paying these dudes $30 million. We can't just take them up out the game. I was surprised at how good that Josh. Not really surprised, but this is something we were kind of waiting to see, was the Josh Giddey and SGA fit. You guys know I wasn't super high on Josh Giddey. And he's been okay to start the season. Like we said, like 2 solid games, nothing really over 20, nothing indicating that he's going to be this. Well, we've seen things he's done. We've seen flashes of things, but he's had 2 really good games. Nothing saying he's the rookie of the year. He hasn't been the best. The best rookie performers have been Evan Mobley and Chris Duarte, obviously. But OKC's trying to build something. And SGA was amazing last night, and he was the reason that they were able to come back. Guys made big shots like Ty Jerome, and Darius Bazley also did some great things. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl from Villanova, who I thought was going to be a major sleeper in this draft class. He's been solid this season, but that Giddey and SGA backcourt, looked amazing. SGA kind of being your shot creator, and then Giddey kind of being off ball a little bit and also playmaking off the ball as well. That's what you want to see, and I think they're moving into a right direction. I feel like when you talk about OKC, we can talk about their draft picks, but we're still wondering what direction they're moving towards. Like, there just never was anything. There was SGA and there's a bunch of other guys, but it seems like now you've got this Josh Giddey and SGA thing, and you're going to see how it works this season, and that's kind of your core you're going to start building around. Like with Cleveland, we know what their core is, or with who else? Is a young team, but we know what the core they're trying to build around. I can't say Sacramento.
Kings. You can't say Kings?
I don't know. I'm not sure about the Kings just yet, because would their core just be Therese Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox? That's kind of weird. as a core. I think, and it can't be Marvin Bagley, you know what I mean? And it can't be Harrison Barnes, because Harrison Barnes and Buddy Hield,
like 30. He's like 30.
And they're movable pieces. Like they can get moved they can get traded right now. You know what I mean? So, but that's the thing we need to see with OKC, is just a sense of direction. We know they've got an abundance in draft picks, but we just want to see them put it all together and just figure out something to build around, instead of it just being Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and a bunch of guys coming in and out of the lineup, but we're still waiting on the Pokusevski thing. We're still waiting on, to see what the strides Darius Bazley is going to continue to take. But to see them play like that last night was great. They're not going to be a great team the rest of the season, not at all. Was that their first win of the year last night?
Yep.
I see you said,
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that backcourt looked great, and that could be their backcourt for the future. Who knows, if they can just keep it going. But like I said, Giddey's not a guy I was very high on. I said he was the most overrated prospect in the draft, but he's shown too much great stuff for me to think that same way. So I've totally changed my tune on Josh Giddey. I remember, I think it was a preseason game it may have been against the Pacers, and he was hooping. I'm not sure who it was. Some coach saw him shredding him up, and then he called timeout. It was almost like this dude can't be going on a run against us, because you look at him, he's like the most awkward built, rookie in this whole class, probably the most awkward built rookie I've seen in a long time, and he's still, he's still produced in all of that. He's definitely one of them don't judge a book by its cover type of guys. Because if you look at him walking up down the street, you ain't gonna think he can hoop at all.
Yeah. I mean, you basically said he like one of them Halloween. Yeah, he looked like one of them Halloween skeletons or something.
Yeah. He don't look like, exactly. Yeah. So he's looking great.
I see you got old dude's name right. What's his name? Alexander Pochek. I'm not gonna say it, but
Pokusevski.
Yeah,
Poku. That's what they call him. Man,
Poku.
Yeah, let's see what he does as well. But the dude I'm most excited for, I'm excited to see how Darius Bazley continues to grow, because I like his game a lot, and also obviously Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Did I say his name? I said it right like a couple minutes ago, and I just forgot his name. Dude from Villanova, who's gotten insane.
You just said it right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think at some point he needs to be starting this season. I don't know if he's in. I got to go back and check and see if he's in the starting five right now. But at some point he should be starting, because he's probably the most skilled big on this roster, and there's not a lot to work with right now. It's not. Yeah, as far as skilled big go.
Yeah, SGA was giving it to us last night.
Mm-hmm. That changed your mind about SGA? Did that change your mind about SGA at all?
A little bit, definitely. I was watching them highlights. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, that step back. He like that step back at the buzzer, that bank shot.
Yeah, bank shot.
He's always been nice, man.
Yeah, he's been very nice. People been nice. Clippers fans are still pissed that they made that trade. They moved him away. You know what I mean?
Can you blame him though? At the time and point where Paul George was playing, he had an MVP season that year.
You can't blame him.
MVP like season, candidate season.
Yeah. And when you always got to think about it at that, because there's a lot of trades people look back at, like even draft too. Like they'll look back at the draft and say somebody's an idiot for taking this dude over somebody else. But at that time, you just didn't know. Now there's no excuse, like Darko Milicic or whatever. You know what I'm saying? There are some times where there's no excuse.
The Pistons could have been crazy.
Yeah, they would have totally changed the way we looked at. I mean, granted, they did. Did they win a championship that following year?
Yeah, but they would have took small ball to another level playing with Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton in that lineup with Carmelo.
Yeah. I don't know if that would have been that would have been a small team.
Technically, because they still have Ben Wallace and what's his name, but
Ben Wallace was like 6'7", I think.
Yeah, Ben Wallace was undersized. That is true. Yeah. That is true.
So technically, it would have been he's 6'7", but he's big as hell.
Yeah, he's very dude. Were there any
somebody else I wouldn't want to get in the fight with?
No, not at all. Him or Rasheed Wallace. Not in the
Oh no.
Yeah. Not even Tony Prince. Not Tony Prince. Tayshaun Prince. He was on that team too. Yeah. Were there any other things that you guys wanted to point out as far as like this past couple of days or anything like that?
Trying to think.
He got to be. No, we should all know. We should all know that by now.
Who's MVP? That should be Jaws, obviously. Blake, you let
Steph.
Yeah, Steph. I got Jaws averaging like 30. I don't know.
I said Steph.
Yeah. We just got to see if Ja keeps it up. That's the thing.
I think what is he averaging now?
Yeah, it's something. It's like got to be like right at 30 or a little under 30. But Desmond Bane has also been really good right next to him. Desmond Bane is almost averaging 20, and he's in the starting role now with the Grizzlies. And that's another one of those. It's another one of those young guys we didn't really see him coming.
They showed him
yesterday averaging 35 and 8.
He's still at 35. Okay.
He's still at 35. Okay.
Can't be at 35.
No, I said 35.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
30. 30. Because they showed Desmond Bane on camera yesterday with a Band-Aid over his eye. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
He was on the bench looking crazy as hell with that Band-Aid over his eye.
Yeah, he's hooping though. And he's doing a lot more shot creating, and a lot of that's also the thing we see that, the summer league is a major teller of like how much guys are going to develop. We saw him doing a lot of shot creating and quote unquote point guard play in the summer league, and then he's bringing it here in Memphis where he's slashing a lot more to go along with the shooting. So, it's great to see. I think that about covers this episode. We'll be back on Monday morning with episode number 26. And we will see y'all.
26.
Wait. Yeah, real quick. What's your Wizards record? What's y'all record?
3-1.
Okay.
3-1. With this.
Let me see. Where are y'all in the East right now?
Probably in the middle, 4th or 5th.
Oh, y'all 5th.
Yeah. Without Bradley Beal playing well too. That's good to hear. Trez been hooping. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
What's name been hooping too? Kuzma. Been having some.
He had a whopping 6 points the other day. So
yeah. I haven't even paid that much attention to Kuzma yet.
We're gonna have to end this. But you got.
Yeah. All right, fellas. We'll see y'all. We'll see y'all on Monday morning. And don't forget to like and subscribe and download us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yep.